Alrighty, welcome back to Raiding the Pantry with Chris Rader. Today we are gonna make a sugar cookie, and it's Christmas time. I realize that. Merry Christmas, y'all. We're a couple days to go until Christmas happens, so we gotta get these sugar cookies ready for those kiddos and Santa Claus. But by the way, before I move on, like always, that recipe will be at the end of the video. And if you like the video, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share it for me. Let's get to it. So we're going to start out with 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And I'm going to spoon mine in. Okay. All right, so let's do. Alrighty, now that we got that, we're going to sift this through. Alright, that is done. We're going to grab a handy dandy fork, because now we're going to need our baking powder and salt. So how much baking powder are we going to use? We're going to use 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. There's one. And a half. That's done. We no longer need our baking powder. And now we're going to use the type of salt we're going to use. We're going to use fine salt. And it's going to be sea salt to use. And we're going to do 1 teaspoon of sea salt. So here's about 1 teaspoon of salt, fine sea salt, and we're just going to take a fork, run it through. All right, that's pretty well mixed. I'm going to call that good. And now we're going to get another bowl. I'm going to set that to the side. Now we got our other bowl. I'm going to use a hand mixer for this. This says to really use a standing mixer, but I'm going to use a hand mixer for this one. Okay, so we're going to need 1.5 cups of sugar. And you're going to use white sugar. So just the regular stuff. There's 1. And there's about a half. We'll add maybe just that much extra, just to be safe. And you're also going to need a little extra sugar, so keep that in mind. So what I've done is I've just got some warm water from the sink to let my butter set in it for about 10 minutes. So that way it can get softened. I'm using unsalted butter, by the way. And we're going to cream this together. It should gonna take about, I think, a couple minutes, like maybe 5 minutes all together. Don't skimp on this part, by the way. You really want that cream. You want it to be light and fluffy. So that way it will all go smoothly. I cream this together on high for about 5 minutes. I'm going to try to keep track through this. All right, so I re-looked at the recipe. It does say 3 to 5 minutes. And as you can see, let me get this a little closer. That's as light and fluffy as I think you can get it. Just with this hand mixer, I got it pretty quick. The trick is to just make sure you let your butter soften. I mean, when that butter softens, it's a whole lot easier to work with. And if you want to let it get, if you're like in kind of a little time crunch, I would say just some warm water off a tap, stick your butter in there for about 10 minutes, and it will be plenty soft. I learned that from another YouTuber that I follow. I think his name is El Cook or something. I'm not 100% sure on it, but he's an awesome cook. I recommend you go look at his stuff. But as you can see, it is light and fluffy. So now I get to add in my eggs on low and my vanilla. So I got 2 eggs. I'm gonna do those eggs one at a time, and then I'm gonna do the vanilla. Add my eggs one at a time. And I got 2 large eggs here. Let me just set those to the side. Okay, so I'm gonna do it, mix it in just long enough until it's just barely mixed in. I'm gonna mix it in on light, so. Now I'm gonna mix in my vanilla, and we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and then that will be it for the tablespoons. All right, now that's done. What we're gonna do next is just slowly add in our mixture, our flour mixture here. So I'm just gonna cup it in. Oh, and don't forget to scrape the sides every so often. I think the video cut out somewhere, so I got all my flour mixed together with my wet mixture. Now I'm gonna go grab my pan and a scoop and a glass cup or something and some extra sugar. And I'm gonna put the extra sugar in a smaller bowl. And I'll show you why here in a little bit. All right, so I got a little sugar in a bowl here. I got my scooper here. And we're just gonna scoop this out. Okay. And we're just gonna kind of cover that in sugar. Okay. And then once it's covered in sugar, I'm gonna take a glass cup, small counter to work with. You have to forgive me. And we're just gonna smash it down just enough. You don't want to smash it too much, but you want it smashed just enough to make it look a little pretty. I'll save most of the smashing towards the end of me finishing off this pan. And if I need to, I'll add more sugar in there. All right, that's the first pan done for now. Well, not for now. Alrighty, now the first batch is ready to go in. I'm gonna put it in for about 9 to 11 minutes. I will probably end up pulling it out at the 9-minute mark, just to let them really get in. Or you can wait until they're lightly golden brown on the edges, and then you can pull them out. Either way, I'll catch y'all back in 9 to 11 minutes. In the meanwhile, I'll probably make another couple pans to be able to go into the oven off of the camera, but I'll catch y'all back then. Alrighty, as you can see, my first batch is done, a little brown on the edges, as you can see, a little golden brown. I still have enough for maybe 1 or 2 more batches. I'm gonna pop my second batch in. I'm gonna let these cool a little bit more, pop them on a plate once they get cool enough, and then I will be right back. I'll show the ending of me making them, and I'll do a taste test after we get them in the oven. I'll catch y'all back soon. Alrighty, now that's done, My second batch is over. I'm gonna get on working on my third here. I don't think I have enough to do another batch, so my last two made here. I'm gonna squash them down. I'm gonna let these get made. And then we'll do a taste test. I'll tell you what I think. I'll catch y'all back in about 9 to 11 minutes.